Alright, hola, bienvenidos, welcome and welcome back. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Today, we got for you the Supco Tradefox Jumper King. Now, I can already see the comments, so if you're gonna go leave a negative comment, I understand. This is supposed to be the king of all jumpers, supposed to replace your little alligator clip style ones, but as far as this product, it's one of two things. You're either gonna think it's kind of cool, has a purpose, a lot of techs see it as a must buy, and then the other half are just gonna think it's stupid and a waste of money. I get it, it's whatever. I'm not sponsored, I'm not product placing or anything. It's just I got quite a bit of requests to go over this, so we're gonna check it out. So I like the little hard case that you have. I put a little carabiner on there and I can clip it to my maintenance bag. I'm gonna be carrying this with me for maintenance. I don't really see another use for it unless I'm actually kind of stumped on a low voltage short and I need this, which has a resettable fuse on it, and I want to go about it that way. Obviously you can use your meter, and if you guys have the popper, I think Supco also makes that one, the popper jumper. So, opens up. You're gonna have a bunch of leads in this pouch over here. These are plug and play. You plug one end, and they're both the same end on both sides. You're gonna plug one end into your Jumper King, essentially. So this is the Jumper King right there. You're gonna plug one end to it. They're nicely color coded, and then you just have to figure out what tip you want to use. So there's gonna be piercing tips for those hard to get to terminals, and you need to actually pierce into the wire itself. So you would put the wire in here and then screw it in, and then it's gonna push that needle through the wire, and you should be able to get a reading there. It's supposed to be the tiniest hole. I'll kind of show that off and we'll see, you know, what kind of mark that leaves. All right, just a quick demo of the piercing tip. Put your wire in and then you're gonna pierce it. That's how you get a reading through that tip. So you have it all the way in, pull it all the way out. And let's see if we can. All right, that's, man, I lost it. That's gonna be your tip. Right in there is where the little pierce, you can kind of see it shining through the copper. But that is a tiny hole. So all quick change, interchangeable. Then we got your alligator clips. These are nice, sturdy clips. I like the way they made these. And then that also just quickly goes on. And then of course you have a couple other options. So you're gonna have a magnetic tip. So if you want to just kind of put it on there, if it is magnetic, and you can just kind of hook up like that. That's a really easy way to do it. And then they made these spade connectors. And with this one, I think they want you to be checking like pressure controls. So you can bypass pressure switches if you have a faulty one, or you need to run it and bypass it. Most of the time, you know, you got a charge issue, but if not, I've run into faulty pressure controls that don't let the system come on or cut it out prematurely, and you can bypass it with that connector. So cool little storage, right? So you got the little mesh pocket for your leads, and then you got all these in this little book style for your different tips. I wish they were a little deeper, or they figured out something a little bit better, because like they fall out pretty easy. and then they're a pain in the ass to put back, but it is what it is. You get a whole bunch of accessories with it, and that's how they put it in there. You do have a magnet back. Now this also, I don't know if you can see, like it's sliding down. So that's not the strongest magnet. Wish they were a little bit stronger, but they do provide you with a hook. So I'm using the hook more times than the magnets because the panels that I work on are I guess too thin. So you got 2 magnets there. Wish they were stronger, even though they doubled up. And then that magnet is just to hold the hook in place so it's not flying everywhere. Then you got your resettable fuse on the bottom. So if you do have a short as you're flipping these on, that'll pop out and you can reset it. So like I said, good for using to find voltage shorts or low voltage shorts. And these are all labeled nicely. You're gonna have your 24 volts. That's where you're gonna connect your R or whatever your supply is there. 24 volts is usually R. And then they're all in the off position when they're down. You go up, and that makes this ready to jump over to whatever you hooked up. So if you wanna just turn on and off your blower, you can do that. Usually that's green. They're color coded, but you know, you don't have to go by colors, or if you are out there, you might see that they're not always color coded. And then you have enough here to do 2-stage cooling, which is usually yellow and blue. You want to do heating, you want to do another stage there. You can do all that. If you're just checking cooling and you have more than 2 compressors, you got enough space there. Like I said, maintenance is probably what this is really good for, and low voltage shorts. So the other thing is, like, if you're doing maintenance and you want to check both the heating and cooling side, you just flip switches, kind of put these on whatever terminal you need to, and just do it from there. So yeah, nicely color coded. All the wires and leads you get are color coded. Just forgot to mention that they do have these slots here, which are like, well, they moved already, but if you have 24 volts going through, you can kind of put your meter and hook up your lead end in that hole, and then get the reading if you're looking to see why something's not coming on. Maybe you don't have voltage from your supply. You turn this on, and then you want to check that and verify your voltage there, or if you have a voltage drop or something like that. So it's a little on both sides they have that where you can check that voltage in the line. Now, like I said, that's replacing jumpers, right? Your alligator clip jumpers. A lot of us have alligator clips. These are also made by Supco. These are the hybrid magnetic and alligator clip style. So for the most part, I'm using alligator clips, but sometimes you can't get them on there, and you are lucky enough to get a magnetic one, and then you can hook it up magnetically. So I did this before I got that, or I had this already kind of put together. Magnetic tips, alligator clips, and then I have 4 with a Hvacr clip. That's my little hack there, because let's say you're just jumping out, you know, 2-stage cooling or something, and then you have this one just dangling there, right? You can easily just take it out, lift the lever, close it up, and then you only have the 3 that you need. And, you know, so on and so forth. If you only need one terminal jumped out, you can take out another one and then easily just put it back and put it away, because I deal with a lot of 2-stage. I have some Lennox units that have up to like 3 or more compressors, so that's why I like having multiple jumpers. You can also just cut some up and put a wire nut on them, and then remove the wire nut and remove however many wires you're not using. There's different ways to do it. This is just a cool little product invented by Robert Kraft, who is air surgeon over on Instagram, even though I think he's taking a break, or I don't know what happened. He's not on there anymore, but Cool little tool. I've talked to him. He showed me the design process and everything he went through to get that made. It's a really cool product. Is it for everybody? Not really. Like I said, some of you might think it's cool, some of you might think it's stupid. It's all opinions and how you use it and how it benefits you. Like for me, if it benefits me from, you know, walking around up and down, back and forth, if I just have that on me, and then I can kind of just ease into it and switch things instead of worrying about the jumper falling off, coming off, because like maybe the ones I have don't work for it. They have different tips. It covers you. I think it's also good for new techs. I feel like it's a very easy way not to short something out. It has a resettable fuse. It's labeled very neatly. There's switches if you want to turn one by one on in case you do have a short or a unit that's acting kind of funny. You can go through the components one by one. And I actually had a unit, or I've had a few units recently that it's something in that we're calling for that is making the unit trip. Whether it's a blower motor, a condenser fan motor, you can turn on, you know, your blower motor, then turn it off. If it works, you know it's not that. Then you can switch over to your cooling. If that works, you know it's not that. Or if something happens and you have to check the cooling side, and you can figure out why something tripped, why a transformer. A lot of the ones I see have the little breaker on there where it'll trip. It's like a 3 amp little breaker on it, and it'll trip and then you can reset it, but then you know they instantly trip if something is shorted out. So that's just my opinion, where I see it useful. And if you're doing residential, you know, you don't want to go in and out, or you have a customer that or people walking in and out, and maybe somebody, it's happened to me, they turn something on that you had off even though you told them you're there working on it, or your company van is outside and they still don't put 2 and 2 together. So you could just take off the faceplate on the thermostat, have this hooked up at your unit, at the condenser, wherever you're at, whether it's a rooftop package unit or the condenser outside, right outside. You can take off the faceplate and you can still energize it through this Jumper King. So plenty of uses I can see, and it's totally up to you if you need it. Like I said, it's good convenience, and then maybe for new guys, it's kind of like, I think it's kind of hard to mess up how you use it. So I'm gonna use it or carry it with me when I'm doing maintenance sometimes. If I want to check both heating and cooling, it's an easy way to just hook up and then start flipping switches. And then if I'm maybe low voltage, if I have a short on my low voltage and I'm hunting for that, I could use that. It has a resettable fuse and we can go about it that way. Even though 9 times out of 10, I could just use my meter and figure it out that way. It's just convenience. It was relatively affordable. I think for me it was 60 bucks. I did buy it. It was not given to me or anything, but I bought it kind of quick, and they may have raised the prices. I'm not sure. I think I saw it's at 75 bucks. When I got it, it was around 60. It might have been 65 bucks or something like that. And I use a True Tech Tools discount, you know, from any of your favorite creators like HVACR Videos has Big Picture, Reefer Guy has HVAC Guy, I think, Survival for HVAC Survival. There's different codes and you get a discount. So I'd recommend getting it from True Tech Tools, but I got mine for 60 bucks. I don't know how that came out, but I think it's a pretty neat tool for the price. And like I said, not sponsored, wasn't given to me. I actually purchased it. I am going to use it when I see fit. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys.